What if the most exciting modern watch brand wasn't Swiss at all? What if it was born from aviation, adventure, and a life-changing aircraft crash? Imagine two brothers, a family tragedy, a passion for aviation, and a bold decision to challenge an industry dominated by centuries-old Swiss giants. Most people can name Rolex, Omega, and Patek Philippe. But what about Bremont? This British watchmaker has equipped military squadrons, partnered with elite pilots, survived extreme testing programs, and helped revive large-scale watchmaking in Britain. Today, we're exploring the incredible story of Bremont brand, built on adventure, engineering, resilience, and the belief that watches should be tested far beyond ordinary limits. In 1995, Nick English survived a devastating aircraft accident that took his father's life. That tragedy would eventually inspire Bremont. Founded in 2002 in Henley-on-Thames in England by brothers Nick and Giles English, Bremont set out to revive British watchmaking and build exceptional mechanical watches. The brand wasn't named after its founders. It honors a French farmer, Antoine Bremont, who once saved the brothers during an emergency landing. Bremont's modern mantra is simple: take it further. A philosophy inspired by explorers, aviators, divers, and adventurers. They don't aspire to be another dress watch company. Its mission is uncomplicated: build rugged mechanical watches inspired by land, sea, and air. And the company's slogan perfectly captures what Bremont does. Their watches, which first appeared in 2007, aren't marketed as delicate luxury objects. They're tools, equipment, instruments, watches designed to accompany explorers, military personnel, pilots, divers, and adventurers. In a world obsessed with luxury status symbols, Bremont focuses on capability, and that's refreshing. But the real story began years earlier. Their father, Dr. Ewan English, was an aeronautical engineer, former RAF pilot, and passionate collector of mechanical devices. He taught his sons to appreciate engineering, aircraft, restoration, clocks, and watches. But the awful family tragedy changed everything. It also created a deep appreciation for time itself. A few years later, the brothers left their corporate careers and decided to build watches inspired by engineering, aviation, and adventure. They started a mission that would eventually become Bremont, honoring a French farmer, Antoine Bremont, who once saved the brothers during an emergency landing. While flying a vintage biplane through France, the brothers were forced to make an emergency landing due to severe weather. The French farmer offered help and welcomed them into his home. The brothers never forgot his generosity. Years later, when searching for a name for their new watch company, they chose Bremont. It's one of the most unusual naming stories in the watch industry, and somehow perfectly fitting for a brand rooted in aviation adventure. However, while most luxury watches come from Switzerland, the company invested heavily to bring serious watchmaking back to Britain. This commitment to British manufacturing is their biggest contribution to modern horology. For decades, Britain had largely disappeared from large-scale watch production, despite its historic importance in timekeeping. The modern pioneer of British horology wanted to change that. In 2021, they opened the Wing, one of Britain's most ambitious modern watchmaking facilities. The message was clear: British watchmaking isn't dead, it's back. And Bremont intends to play a leading role in its revival. Now, quick question: are you enjoying this journey through the world of watches? If so, please take a second to follow Horology Guide. Our mission is simple: to uncover the stories, innovations, and personalities behind the world's greatest watch brands. Every follow helps us create more documentaries like this one and bring horology history to a wider audience. Now let's continue. If there's one collection that defines Bremont, it's the Martin Baker series. This company makes fighter jet ejection seats used around the world. Together, the two companies developed watches capable of surviving some of the harshest testing imaginable. We're talking extreme shock tests with heavy vibration, brutal impacts, conditions that would destroy many traditional mechanical watches. The result? The legendary MB collection. Not only did these watches establish the reputation of this tactical timekeeper for toughness, they also gave the brand a unique identity. No other watch company had created anything quite like it. Beyond the L21C, which helped establish the watch brand as a serious aviation watchmaker and remains one of its most recognizable chronographs, they created something for divers. The Supermarine collection showcased Bremont's dive watch credentials, a rugged collection inspired by the sea and built for adventure. The Solo line introduced many collectors to the brand. The Jaguar collaboration connected British watchmaking with British motorsport. And more recently, models such as the Terra Nova further expanded Bremont's adventure-focused identity. What do they all have in common? What makes these watches distinctive isn't flashy design, it's purpose. Each collection tells a story rooted in exploration, engineering, or British heritage. And that's become Bremont's signature. Bremont's ambassadors include adventurers, military veterans, and explorers who push equipment to its limits. The brand has built an impressive network of ambassadors and partnerships. Among them are adventurer and former UK Special Forces operator Jason Fox, alongside explorer Aldo Kane. And the list doesn't stop there. Filmmakers, actors, pilots, explorers, and expedition leaders all form part of a growing community built around real-world achievement. But perhaps even more impressive are the military relationships. The company has created watches for hundreds of military squadrons around the world. These aren't fashion collaborations. They're watches connected to real operational communities. For collectors, that authenticity matters. And it's a major reason why Bremont continues to stand out in a crowded luxury watch market. So what truly distinguishes Bremont? First, it's proudly British. Second, it genuinely embraces aviation heritage, rather than simply borrowing aviation aesthetics. Third, it focuses on durability and real-world performance. And finally, it's a young brand willing to take risks. Bremont isn't competing against centuries of Swiss tradition by copying it. It's creating its own identity. That's brave. And in the watch industry, bravery is surprisingly rare. Bremont doesn't try to be Swiss. It proudly embraces British engineering, aviation heritage, and purpose-driven watchmaking. Are Bremont watches worth the money? If you value British aviation heritage, military connections, and engineering built for punishment, the answer might be yes. But there's a catch. Bremont watches often use modified Swiss movements, face fierce competition from Omega and Tudor, and lose significant value on the pre-owned market. That's why many collectors recommend buying pre-owned timepieces, from a family tragedy to an international watch brand, from aviation enthusiasts to modern British watchmaking pioneers. Bremont has proven that great horology isn't limited to Switzerland, and perhaps that's its greatest achievement. We've reached the end of our interesting story. Subscribe to Horology Guide for more incredible watch stories, forgotten innovations, legendary brands, and the history behind the world's greatest timepieces. Join a growing community of true watch enthusiasts. Until next week, keep questioning what makes a great watch, because behind every dial lies a story worth discovering. And remember, the world of horology is far bigger, richer, and more fascinating than most people ever realize. See you in the next adventure.